Compreendo perfeitamente a sua necessidade de manter a estrutura de parágrafos original para facilitar a conferência. Peço desculpas pela confusão anterior. Acquiescer a tradução para o inglês americano, como a estrutura de parágrafos idêntica a do roteiro original anexado. Why do you feel smaller, more exhausted, and fundamentally betrayed every time you close Instagram? You scroll, you compare, and you feel not enough. This mental exhaustion has a name, and it was diagnosed over a century ago by a philosopher named Nietzsche, who never saw a screen. The corrosive sense of inadequacy that haunts you is not an internet problem. It's a problem of the soul. Tired of this mental drain? This is not another video about digital detox. We're going straight to the source with Friedrich Nietzsche to unearth the only ethic that can truly set you free, the courage to be who you are. It is the end of comparison and the beginning of your greatest power. Nietzsche coined a powerful term, ressentiment. It's not just envy. It is the morality of the weak who, unable to create their own values, seek to devalue or destroy what others have. Ressentiment in the digital age is an attempt at psychological revenge. The illusion of social media is that you are comparing your behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. But ressentiment makes you believe that perfect life is an objective truth, and that your imperfect life is a failure. As one viewer brilliantly captured it, masking their envy with calls for equality. Wow, now that's amazingly profound. Masking their envy with calls for equality. Wow, now that's amazingly profound. The first liberation is to recognize, ressentiment is the poison that prevents your growth. You need to step out of this reactive morality. Ressentiment is the poison you inject into yourself. But what allows this poison to spread and become the norm? It feeds on a system of social control that demands our submission. For your individual strength to prevail, you must confront and name the cultural ground that nourishes envy. Nietzsche warned that herd morality is the danger of dangers. Why? Because it turns against the instincts of life and pressures all individuals to become a smaller, almost ridiculous type, a herd animal, something anxious to please, sickly and mediocre. Some might dismiss this idea as elitist, as one of you commented. Nietzsche was very elitist. It's a very contradictory post-iron for somebody who claims to espouse the sanctity of natural law. But Nietzsche's elitism is about the elitism of character. The mediocrity of the herd is often voluntary. The herd desires security and comfort in its weakness. Herd morality is the system that values obedience and pleasing others over creative capacity. Its greatest enemy is individual potential. If herd morality is the system that diminishes us, the only way out is radical autonomy. The individual's great task is to exchange the ethic of obedience for the ethic of creation. This is where Nietzsche calls us to the transvaluation of values, a call to your project of the soul. The greatest power an individual can achieve is the ability to create oneself. This is the project of the soul, a unifying life project that is not pursued for short-term gratification. Nietzsche's famous transvaluation of all values is the transcendence of the reactive ego. Ethics ceases to be a set of rules to please the herd and becomes the inevitable expression of your inner will to strength and growth. The only ethic that truly matters is the courage to be who you are. The true moral act is the one that increases your strength and integrity, not the one that guarantees a like or social approval. You are not seeking the status of a higher man as an empty label, but as a life practice that destroys the need for external validation. But how do you maintain the integrity of this creation in the face of failures, pains, and all the imperfections that the feed tries to hide? The courage to be who you are is proven in the capacity to embrace every moment of your journey, and this leads us to the acid test of authenticity, the practice of a more fatty. The ultimate proof of authenticity and the radical antidote to comparison is amor fati, the love of fate. Ask yourself, if I had to relive this exact life, with all its pains, failures and imperfections, for all eternity, would I say yes? Amor fati liberates us from the obsession with who we were or who we should be. With this radical acceptance of your totality, the creative energy that was once spent on comparison turns toward a greater purpose, building a legacy that transcends your own time. You begin to practice the nobility of self-overcoming. One viewer captured this internal struggle perfectly. Sometimes I feel like a higher man, but other times I feel like the lowliest slave. I guess those are the competing urges for acceptance and greatness that we all face. Sometimes I feel like a higher man, but other times I feel like the lowliest slave. This conflict is your humanity. Amor fati is the yes to your journey whole. It allows you to accept that slave and turn him into your teacher, not your master. Amor fati liberates us from the obsession with who we were or who we should be. With this radical acceptance of your totality, the creative energy that was once spent on comparison turns toward a greater purpose, building a legacy that transcends your own time. You begin to practice the individual practicing the project of the soul is on a project of constant self-overcoming. It is the ability to look at your current version and go beyond it, day after day. The new nobility is integrity. It is the deliberate choice of values that deeply resonate with you, not with the trends that will guarantee you more clicks. This translates into conscious engagement, using social media as a tool and not as a master. The secret to freedom is a digital detox for the soul, which reclaims the mental and emotional space stolen by comparison. Even for those who might dismiss this as the babblings of a crazy man, remember, the madness for Nietzsche was in blindly following the morality that weakens you. Sanity is the courage to be a creator of new values. Stopping comparison is not deleting an app. It is deleting a philosophy of life. It is trading ressentiment for creative courage and herd morality for amor fati. If your life is a project of the soul, it cannot be measured in years or in likes. Its true measure is the quality of your contribution to something greater than yourself. And that leads us to the only question that truly matters in the end, the true legacy of your courage. What trees are you planting, whose fruits you know you will not harvest, but that will give shade to generations? This is the project that places your creative will above your mere egoic survival. If this video has ignited the fire of your courage and awakened a new perspective on social networks, upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to walk with us along this road of fertile silence, discovery, and reconnection. Leave your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of healing for other hearts. And if you are looking for a safe harbor to nourish this newly lit flame and find those who walk on the same frequency, our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. Remember, wholeness is the real strength, not the forced smile. Honoring your truth is the only way. And to continue expanding your sanctuary of clarity, we suggest the video in the card. May it be a breath of fresh air, peace and light.